Welcome back to Marketing Champions. I'm your host, David Benfield. On this show, we talk to marketing experts to help make you a marketing expert. So joining me today, I have Michelle Glogovac from the MLG Collective. Michelle, how are you doing today?
I'm great, David. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So let's start by finding out what the MLG Collective is. What do you guys do?
We are a full-service traditional public relations agency, but with a specialty in the podcasting industry. This makes us unique because a lot of publicists that are out there that have been around for many years don't quite fully understand the difference in pitching to podcasts, and there is a difference. So that's what makes us unique and standing out from the others.
So talk about that difference. What is the difference?
The difference that goes into a pitch with a podcast versus a traditional media pitch is going to be that it's longer than you would send to a journalist. It includes more of the topics that are relevant. It's similar, though, to what you would do to a journalist, is that you do relate to them on a personal level. But you want to listen to a podcast. You want to let them know that, it's not just that you think it's a great podcast show, but here are the reasons why behind it. You don't go in cold at all. I give topics for all of my clients as to what would be best for that particular show and attach a media kit. And then afterwards for the follow-up, you don't want to do it within 24, 48 hours like you do with hard-hitting news. And, we have a very quick time for that. A lot of podcasts are hobbyists. So they're doing this in their free time. They have full-time jobs, and you don't want to continuously hit them up with, hey, do you remember this? I want to get to the top of your inbox. You want to give it a couple weeks, sometimes even 3, and let them peruse over it, because oftentimes it's in that last follow-up that they'll say yes and appreciate that you took the time, but you gave them some space as well.
Right. So did you have a background in news before?
No, I actually, my education is in law. I have a bachelor's and master's in law, and I had an 18-year career in corporate aviation. So I sold jet fuel to corporate flight departments.
Okay, let's talk about that transition. Why how did you go from aviation to helping podcasts? That's so cool.
It's totally left field, I know. I ended up in aviation because I needed a part-time job and I could walk to the airport from the campus. I went to UC Santa Barbara, and I stuck with it because it was a time when all of my friends were moving back home and I didn't have to. I had a salary and benefits. So I was like, yeah, I'm in. And I stuck for 18 years. But then along comes, marriage and kids, and I was traveling and it was costing money to bring them and a nanny with me. And I thought, what is it that I could do where I could stay at home and work for myself? And at the same time, once motherhood came, I said, I want to do something that makes a difference in the world. And I don't think that saving the rich more money is actually making a difference in the world. So I discovered podcasting in 2018, and I loved that it's a free platform and you get to speak directly to people about anything and everything. And it allows listeners to be educated on anything and everything. So it's a very intimate type of thing. And you have the ability to change the world with your message. So I stuck with it, and that's how I got here.
That's a great story. So that doesn't come without any challenges. I'm sure you've had to navigate a lot of different things that you didn't foresee or what. So talk to us about some of those unforeseen hiccups that you've had to manage.
Well, coming into a brand new industry, you have to learn it. And I dove right in, which meant that, I was working a lot of hours for not very much money. And I was, Saturdays, Sundays, nighttime, early mornings, learning the podcasting industry. And so I actually started on the production side and was producing some top shows. I worked with a great editor out of Austin, Texas. And together we just made it happen. And that's how clients then ended up going, well, our material, can you pitch us to be interviewed on other shows? And I said, absolutely. I'm one of those yes people. I never say no. I figure it out and I go for it. And that's when I realized I was more passionate about the pitching part than I was about the production part, especially when, at 8 o'clock at night on a Monday, somebody sends you their show for Tuesday that's supposed to go live at 5 a.m. and says, can you make it happen? that doesn't give you that work-life balance that you're looking for when you're working for yourself.
Michelle, that's a fantastic story. I really appreciate you taking the time to be on with us today. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have to talk with you today, though.
Well, thank you. My pleasure being here.
All right, so if you'd like to learn more about the MLG Collective, head to thedailyadbrief.com, and you can find out more about Michelle Glogovac and all the cool work that she's doing with podcasts. But that's going to do it for us today on Marketing Champions. I'm your host, David Benfield. We will see you next time.